Hi guys, it's Jonathan Chown here with JChownGolf at Crondon Park Golf Club in Essex. And what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about if you're one of them golfers who just cannot hit their driver straight. You always slice it. You're always slicing that driver. And we're going to talk about two key moves here. Two key moves to guarantee you're going to be hitting that driver straighter. So let's get right into that. So hitting the driver straighter, what we've really got to do here. Now, we're going to dissect a few things. We're going to dissect, it's going to be backswing stuff. We're going to want our backswing to set ourselves up for a good downswing. It's a saying I love, set up a good backswing for a good downswing. That's what you got to do. So what we're seeing here for people who, let's say, they're hitting their irons well, hitting their irons nice and straight, but they could not stop slicing their driver. Two keys. One, we've got to know club face has got to be an issue. Our club face has to be open to our swing path. And two, the swing path for most golfers who are slicing it is out to win if they're hitting your stereotypical, banana out there. So what I want to see first key to hit that driver straighter is the takeaway. I want this club face to be more matching the spine angle. You see how I've got this slight angle with my back here, and you can see how that club face now is perfectly in line with that. That's going to ensure that my club face is square in my backswing. If I'm getting back to my takeaway here and my club face is opening up, maybe I'm rolling the forearms, opening up the club face, it's not matching my back angle here, it's open. I'm going to continue to have an open club face throughout my golf swing if I don't make a compensation in there. So the first big key is making sure we've got a square club face. Now, what's a good little key for us to have a good square club face? Well, one, we've got to make sure our grip's all right first. Two, let's say we've got to have a feel to get this club face so it's more matching our back angle, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So let's assume you've got a more standard golf grip. So a standard golf grip would be your 2.5 knuckles. So if we go back with our standard golf grip here for our left hand, and if I have my logo of my glove, so let's say if you're wearing a glove, or the back end of your hand there, the back side of it. Now what I would want to do, I would want to make sure that this logo, so my Under Armour logo of my glove here, pointing very slightly down to the ground. See how when it's pointing very slightly down to the ground there, see how my club face is now more matching my back angle. If my Under Armour logo there starts pointing away from me and pointing up, you can see how that club head is now pointing, that face is more pointing up and away, so it's open, it's not matching my back angle. So a good little key for you to be able to get this club face matching your spine angle there on the way back is to have your logo very simply pointing and very slightly angled down towards the ground. So if you're going to have a tray of golf balls, let's say you had a tray of golf balls right here, we would have that logo of the glove pointing at the tray of golf balls, and then great, we've got this club face matching our back angle, slightly toed down, we're brilliant there. So that's key one, we need to have a square club face if we want to hit the ball straight. It has to happen. So two, that's our first little bit. Secondly, something I see really common with driver for people who cannot stop slicing the golf ball, that'll be where they are at the top of the backswing, more so looking like this. See how the hands are very high, they're very much close to my head. See how you can see my right shoulder there. This is called a lack of depth to the arms at the top of the backswing. Now why this is important, because if I have a lack of depth at the top of the backswing and I have a good downswing move, so I have a good transition here, I turn my body lovely, I rotate my hip, I rotate my upper body, I do everything I need to, this club from our position at the top of the backswing, if we do everything great, it's going to be thrown out. It's going to have that over the top look just because of where we were at the top of the backswing. When I rotate in the downswing, my hands naturally go that way. They naturally shift outwards. That's a normal movement of our body. If I extend my arm straight out there and I rotate without doing anything with my arm, you can see how it goes and it moves outwards. So this is a normal move. We don't want to calm that down. We don't want to start making the hand drop down. We could run into other problems going down the line. Let's say in a good few months time we'll be hitting the ball actually worse. So we want to set it up to a decent spot at the top of the backswing. So we know if we have a lack of depth here, turn, then we're going to get into a funny spot for being able to have a good path in the downswing. So what we want to do here, we want to get these hands and this left arm more behind me. So I want at the top of the backswing there, my left arm to be more, see how it's now more across my chest, it's covering my left or my right shoulder there, it's in a much better spot. Because then if I turn again in a downswing, do exactly the same downswing, that club's now going to be more on path. So that's a really beneficial move. It's called depth to your lead arm or depth to your hands at the top of the backswing. It's more so getting that left arm being more across your chest and those hands being a little bit more behind you rather than up here. Because it's all, if we turn, we'll get that club falling on path better. So that's a crucial move to be able to control path easier in the downswing. If you're not doing that and you're working on parts of your downswing to try and get that club to go, let's say, more neutral into out, sure, you could manipulate it over time, but it's going to be an uphill battle all the time to be able to do that. You getting up the top of your backswing with better depth is going to be way easier. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? One, the big thing that I see for people that don't achieve this level of depth at the top of the backswing, those hands being behind them, they simply just don't turn enough. They don't really complete a full backswing. So if we see here, I really make a turn. So I'm going to make a turn here where I'm literally just almost picking my arms up. So I'm just essentially picking my arms straight up here. What we're going to see, what do the arms look like at the top? Just picking my arms up. Yep, they look very, very high. I've got no rotation to my body there. If I turn my downswing, club's going to be thrown over. So when we have a lack of depth, a lot of time that's really caused by a lack of turn. We want turn in the body. So if I now do a turn where I am really, yeah, you can see a lot more of my back there. Now let's see how this looks like if I get more turn. See now how naturally, because of rotation, my hands have gone more around my body and I've got into this position. Naturally, I've just turned a hell of a lot more there. I've really turned my body to where now that left arm is now across my chest, it's covering my right shoulder, my hands are more behind me, and then I can deliver that club to the ball on a better path. Then we could actually do drills like for your downswing to swing more on the inside, and it will work and it will get into your swing faster. So what we can see there, we need that more turn. Now if you struggle with getting turn, you struggle with completing that full turn, don't be worried to slightly lift that left heel. If you slightly lift that left heel, it'll give you a little bit more range of motion going back there. It will turn your hips more. So really don't be afraid of doing that. All the old school guys did it, your Nicholas, your Sneed, Hogan, what have you, they all did this move. So really get that move going in there, because that's how, if you're not as flexible as like your tall guys out there, like we're all not, that's how we can still get that full big turn in there. So if you feel like when you're getting that full turn and you feel your left heel coming up, don't worry about it. You're going to get yourself into a good position. It's actually probably going to help you more than it will hurt you. It will help your downswing sequence too. So if we can get in that backswing here, we can get that club, let's say, more matching our spine angle there. So that'll be via our logo on our glove pointing more down to the ground, and then I'm turning my body, getting a good full turn, and I'm getting my depth behind me there. So that's exactly what I want, and then we can go down and hit a good drive for it. Two very simple keys, but if you're not doing these two, you're really going to struggle with hitting your driver with any sort of accuracy. You're always going to be slicing that ball up there. We need a club face and we need a path. So guys, if you like that video, please press like, please subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified every time. So really simple two little things here. We can see just by getting these two variables right with club face and lead arm depth at the top of the backswing, more depth for the hands, which will take care of path. We can get club face good, get path good, and we'll be hitting the driver straighter because of it.